Democracy and reform, key words associated with the pro-EU revolution which took place in Kyiv last year. A revolution which led to the current conflict in East Ukraine with Russian-backed insurgents, which has claimed thousands of lives. More than 1 year after the uprising, have we seen real change? Helping us answer that question today on the Press Review is Nolan Peterson, writing in Newsweek. He's been in the town of Mariupol in East Ukraine. Mariupol was at one time partially occupied by the Russian-backed insurgents, but is now under government control. The idea of democracy there, it would seem, hasn't really taken hold. Peterson writes, many citizens in Mariupol have been dissuaded from participating in their country's political process due to 70 years of Soviet rule and a 25-year span of corrupt oligarchies intermittently interrupted by revolutions in Kyiv. The lesson learned by many is referred to as the ostrich mentality. Keep your head down and out of trouble. A lack of progress on democratic reforms appears to be contributing to the threat in Mariupol of a return of the insurgency. Peterson describes the situation like this. The failed promise of democracy to improve living conditions has spurred some residents to retain pro-Russian sympathies out of nostalgia for the Soviet era, when pensions and politics were perceived to be more stable. Peterson describes how, in the wake of last year's revolution, numerous anti-corruption initiatives, civil rights groups and volunteer organizations have sprung up. That all seems to be positive from the point of view of democracy, but there remains work to do. Peterson tells us across the country, local governments remain largely unchanged, still comprising officials elected before the revolution. Outside of Kyiv, many citizens' lives have not been positively affected by the 2014 revolution. So, although the events of 2014 may not have had a positive impact on everyone in Ukraine, in a few months' time there will be another chance for citizens to exercise their democratic rights. As Peterson explains, on October 25th, Ukraine will hold national elections, including all local government positions. Many consider the October elections a key test of Ukraine's democratic reforms and a bellwether of the country's chances for a prosperous and peaceful future. So, democracy and reform, two words which go hand in hand for Ukraine. But more than a year after a revolution which ousted its former Kremlin-friendly president, for many in the country, positive results from the upheavals of the past 12 months are difficult to see. National elections in October will no doubt give us a clearer picture of what Ukraine's future will be. That's all we have time for today. Join us again tomorrow for another Press Review. This is Rahim Rahimtullah for Ukraine Today in Kyiv.